Hare Krishna. And congratulations to everybody in North America for another huge year on Sankirtan. Collectively, as a team, we gave nearly $2 million to the BBT for 2017. It's slightly percentage-wise under what we did last year. But just as in a bull market, if you look at the Dow Jones Industrials, as it's climbing, there's little troughs along the way. Or as you're climbing to the highest peak in the Himalaya, going through the foothills, there are slight ups and downs. But we're on an upward trend. Over the last 5 years, we've tripled book distribution, and we've attained new capacity. We've discovered it by working together, by sharing information. And it's only getting better, because the more we keep forward-looking towards 10% increases each year, and the more we share information and try to help one another, training new devotees and keeping our focus, the more we realize capacity. And it's not just capacity, it's also Lord Chaitanya's mercy. When we do the unthinkable, when we do things that we can't imagine achieving, and we realize that we were helped by Lord Chaitanya, we become more enlivened. And this is really what keeps the Krishna consciousness movement going. So now's a good time at the beginning of the year to just write down any of the obstacles that you may be facing, and then think specifically about how to overcome them. This is one of the principles of management, and it's very effective and enlivening. Don't be afraid to look at the obstacles. Usually they're psychological. There are many temples poised for increase. A lot of temples are doing steadily well, and they're seeing from others that they can also increase just by applying some simple principles. And there are many temples that are doing huge amounts of book distribution. And surprisingly, the ones that achieved 10% increases last year are all interested in doing another 10% in 2018. That tells you something about the power of goals and realizing capacity through achieving your goals. I've noticed that those who go out on book distribution advance in Krishna consciousness because they get an opportunity to see how the modes of material nature are working, and they actually develop confidence that they didn't have before because they see how Krishna is inspiring them from within their hearts when they go out. As Prabhupada said, everyone gets their own genius by attempting to do the book distribution yajna. And I noticed that new devotees, even after going out one time, come back as Madhyama Adhikaris. That is, they're thinking about how to spread the Krishna consciousness movement. They're thinking about breaking out from their small unit and going to people all over and giving them Krishna consciousness. And this is the way that we actually advance our Krishna consciousness movement, from the inside out. So book distribution is a connection with the internal energy. And by doing this, we get the great benefit of having advanced devotees in our movement. And there are multiple other benefits, and that is that we get Lakshmi pouring in. In fact, the more we distribute books, the more the Lakshmi comes in. It comes in so fast that you can't even count it all. There's practically no place to store it. It comes in so fast because Krishna is pleased by the yajna. So this is not a mystery how to expand book distribution. It's a recipe. We have the means, we have the template, and it's working everywhere. Everywhere we're implementing the template, and devotees are following this simple process. They're getting results, sustained results, and significant results. So part of that is following the principles, like the 4 laws of book distribution. So those are in review. 1, your sadhana must be strong. And when we emphasize the book distribution program, we simultaneously introduce strong sadhana. And the two are inseparable. Then there's get books, because we have the greatest treasures in the world, and we have these books in many different languages. And if we go out of our way to get them, just by keeping them, we get the impetus to distribute them, because there's a kind of weightiness to these books, and having them and storing them, keeping inventory of them, keeps an impetus for us to distribute them. And then the more you show, the more you sell. That's number 3. Number 3 is that People are looking everywhere. They wander around. Living entities are out in the world looking and trying to find something nice. And when they see these books, they get attracted. So we have to innovate and find ways to show them. And there are millions of ways to distribute books. It's not stereotyped. As many devotees as there are, there's as many ways as distributing books. It's just a matter of allowing people, empowering people through these 4 laws of book distribution. Show them in your own way and find out for yourself how people will take the books. And the 4th law of book distribution is that you must organize. And that starts from the top, because leaders, GBCs, temple presidents, the temple council have to be in agreement that this is a priority. And once there's a sense that this is a priority and then there's a solid goal in mind, these leaders set a goal together, then all the energy just pours in. And we've seen it as if there's a light switch being flipped on. As soon as the goal is ratified, then all the ideas start to pour in the second that the leaders decide on a goal. And then it spreads out to the whole community. And there's always a way. And Lord Chaitanya makes sure that this happens. He gives his backing, because he's the greatest spiritual capitalist. And he infuses the devotees with the wherewithal to distribute books. As soon as they commit to it and they take a risk that I'm going to make a goal. No goal, no go. No goal, no energy. There's some really big and exciting innovations in distribution of full sets of Srimad Bhagavatams. One of them is Go Matsya. This is the program through which, when we meet people, we invite them to join the mission. Not just take a full set of Srimad Bhagavatams. Of course, Matsya is the avatar who saved the Vedas. So our motto is preservation through mass distribution and education. When we're meeting people, we're inviting them to join this great cause of saving the Vedas. And of all the Vedas, the Bhagavatam is the cream. And people are very happy to get involved. And incidentally, they take a set or 2 as well. And they give a lot more than they would have just for a set of Bhagavatams. So Go Matsya is a very innovative and rapidly increasing program that devotees are finding very useful. More about that on the website, gomatsya.com. We're also giving a special focus in 2018 to Bhadra Purnima. This is the day mentioned in the Shastra that if you give away a set of Bhagavatams, you go back to Godhead. Who wouldn't want to take that? I mean, Bhagavatams only cost about $200, and that's how much a salad costs in New York City. So we have the Golden Thrones, we have the Bhagavatams, and now let's make them available to people all over the world. Last year, we only had a week's preparation, and Bhadra Purnima was successful. What to speak of this year? We have months to get ready for this and make it a worldwide event. It's going to be huge. The other book distribution program that's on the rise is Kids Sankirtan. 10 years ago, I took out 5 5-year-olds, and I thought, let's see how they like going on door-to-door book distribution. Well, it turns out they loved it. And it turns out that people love them, too. And as it turns out, when kids go on Sankirtan, they learn about the world, just as Narada Muni did when he was 5 years old. He went and looked around and saw the Lord's energies working. These kids are growing up doing book distribution, and they're seeing how the modes of material nature work. And I'm seeing those who have been out for 5 or 10 years now explaining the philosophy in ways that makes people very attracted to Krishna consciousness. And it also gives these kids compassion in their heart and a mission in their life. So Kids Sankirtan is increasing in many places all over the world. When the kids go out, the parents go out too. And when the parents and kids are together, they have some real quality time together doing service. The kids at ISKCON of Silicon Valley have developed their own website. They have their own team meetings, and they're becoming leaders by employing Sankirtan. So these are 2 very exciting and innovative ways in which book distribution is taking hold all over the world. So this is a priority that Srila Prabhupada set for us. This is his idea. He got it from his spiritual master, and he brought this wave of book distribution to America himself, as we all know. And he emphasizes it again and again. So to be in alignment with his mission means to keep book distribution as a primary focus in every community. It carries that generational flow to the next group of devotees who are taking up the process of Krishna consciousness. And what do they get out of it? As I said before, they feel the same happiness and the same kind of excitement that we did when Prabhupada was here and he asked us to go on book distribution. It's absolutely electric, and it passes down just as it's coming through an electric wire. So we've already been together as a team in North America for several years now, and the results have been phenomenal. We've tripled book distribution since we came together and just decided to work together as one team. And since we've together set team goals for North America. It's been something that is a shot that's been heard around the world, and people are taking notice. So it's important for our movement. We're doing something significant and important by keeping to this. And can it expand? Of course it can. Look at these other organizations like the Gideons, and look at the Jehovah's Witness. They're doing multiples more than we are, in multiples. They've expanded because they have a priority of literature distribution. And how they do it? Started from the beginning and made incremental improvements. And we can do the same thing. So keeping to this 10% that we already ratified, we said several years ago that we'll stick to 10% a year over the next 10 years. And doing so will not only increase book distribution in a significant way, but it will also help all of our projects come up. As rising tide rises all ships. So I beg all of you to continue with the outstanding work that you're doing by empowering the members of your communities to continue book distribution, and by keeping it in the fore. It is helping us in North America in all ways, and it is helping the whole world. And what to speak of, every single person who gets one of Prabhupada's books is eternally benefited. And those books will be around for a long time. And yes, they will change the world. And I thank you very much for your association. And it's been a dream come true, working together as a team. Let's keep doing it. Hare Krishna.